Scars and butterflies. My scars cannot be seen with the naked eye. My scars cannot be felt with the touch of your hand because my scars lay deep within the belly of my mind, buried in the depths of my heart, submerged in the deep, dark secrets of my spirit. And you wonder how I still sparkle and shine? Because my scars have become my butterflies. I have learned how to suck on the nectar of my scars to bring forth within eternal change. Yet I wish that I could become numb from the pain of my scars, but my strength won't let me. My scars have become my comfort zone. They have left me lost, confused, and alone, yet my strength exposes the underlining flesh of my scars, making my cocoon no longer an easy place for me to reside. My cocoon becomes unstable and unshaky, making my scars look smaller than what they truly appear to be. My molting has begun. The shedding of the old skin from within becomes my new journey. But deep down inside, my emotions are tatted with permanent mental ink that can never be erased. Yet as I grow, as I eat, as I shed, as I molt before your very eyes, see the silk spun from the spew of my hurt and pain that has created this metamorphosed change to become real. My physical can hang with pain. My flesh naturally repairs itself, but what about my mind? What about my spirit? What about my heart that has been pinched, poked, broken, bruised, that only created a platform for my transformation to break free? I have finally become my butterfly from my scars. My butterfly carries away the wetness of my tears. The color of my butterflies brings light to the darkness that I have carried for so many years. The strength of my butterfly wings have given me the power to break the stronghold of my fears. My scars have transformed into my butterflies. Silence. I sit here in silence, wanting to see the beauty it should bring. I sit here in disappointed because confusion is the only thing I see. They say silence is golden, but how when it holds the key to so many deep, dark secrets that become your reality? It becomes a still space and time that conditions one to suppress, to only up and disappear when exposed to sound, leaving one to digest the truth. That noise of quiet brings havoc to the body of your thoughts, creating a symphony of destruction and pain, which has only been precisely composed by the lyrical notes of one's emotional stains. Where is the beauty of silence? My name is Sade, and I am a victim of suppressed child sexual abuse. Many of you that have crossed my path in my life have always had the opportunity to be introduced to my protector, which many of you know is Sparkle. And in the recent months that the suppressed memory of being abused sexually has become the forward path of my life, I decided that I understood the reason why the universe and God allowed me to remember after so many years. Not to punish me, but for me to understand that there was a reason why he used me. That maybe I could be the platform to helping so many understand their own pain. To give others a platform to release and not be fear of silence. So I created this show called Silence Never. And I plan on using this as a platform to continue my daily healing. And I am hoping that so many others are able to hear things that I talk about and use them for their own path. Because silence has been given to so many as a beautiful gift that is golden. It gives you power. But at the same time, it's so bittersweet because silence also holds so many deep, dark secrets that destroy us inside and out. I have struggled over the course of the last couple of days in being willing to actually go forth with this. But as I spoke to God over the weekend, I knew that this was my journey, this was my destiny, was to share. And that's what I choose to do. I have experienced so many different emotions and so many different feelings of hatred, anger, guilt, pain, that I decided that now I'm going to try my hardest to move forward to be free. And I want everyone out there to know that no, it's not an easy process, but if you take that step to be free, you truly can become free. When I introduced myself as Sade, Sade was my birth-given name, and that is the child that I was. As I talked to so many people from my childhood, people remember me as being very full of life, happy-go-lucky, even though I had temper tantrums and I was quite spoiled. But for the most part, I was a very happy-lucky-go little girl. Being an only child for 10 years, I spent a lot of time by myself. But something did happen. There was a transition and a change in my life by the time I was 10. And things happened to where Sparkle, who many of you know, became my true identity. So many years have gone by, and now I have found myself that Sparkle has been the only entity that I've ever known. Sade was buried, put away in a deep, dark cage, which as a poet, I know some have heard my piece, 7 Words, which explains just that. In recent months, as a poet, I was asked to perform at an event, and I did. And at that event, I was approached by a gentleman in his late, maybe early 70s. And he continued to poke at me during intermission for me to remember who he was, and I had no idea. After standing there with him for a couple of minutes, he finally told me his name. And when he told me his name, it was like a dam had been released. And I remembered all the thoughts of this man, all the things that we had done. And it came to my understanding at that point, being an adult, that I was a victim of child abuse and was molested by this man that lived in my apartment complex. This has been something very hard for me because I didn't remember. And the people that were in my life, which are my parents, did not feel the need to protect me. Or maybe I should say, to be honest, maybe they just didn't know how to protect me. So I created my own identity to protect myself, and that was Sparkle, and that's who I am today. You know, in doing some research in regards to the victims of child abuse, it was very alarming to me that the statistics show that out of every 6th child, 4 have been abused sexually, whether someone in their home, someone in their neighborhood, someone in their school. That means that there's a lot of people in this world that are holding that deep, dark secret. And what I've come to understand, that with my suppression of this secret, it shaped and formed every avenue of who I've become. It has shaped and morphed my relationships. It has shaped and morphed all my choices and decisions when it comes to jobs. I now understand why I hold guilt. I now understand why I hold so much lack of self-respect. And this platform, Silence Never, is a platform that I want to share with the world for us to be aware that we don't have to be silent, because silence just kills us. I have been my own worst enemy from this. And it wasn't even my fault. And yes, I was a victim. But once you learn you're a victim, it comes a point in time, from that point you get to choose if you stay a victim. And that's what I choose not to do. I'm going to bring someone that's going to kind of talk with me. And I'm looking forward to having a sister or someone that can help me through this path. She is a known poet in the Los Angeles area. She has her own story to tell, her own struggles. But for her to take the time to be there for me shows a sisterhood, it shows a womanhood, and it shows that you don't have to be silent, because someone will have your back. Someone will walk with you through it all. So we're going to go to a break real quick, and then we'll come back and I'll introduce Inspired to you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you so much once again for all the support, all the calls and all the emails and text messages that I'm getting right now for what I'm doing, and the courage that I'm actually displaying is so overwhelming to me. And right now I actually have a sponsor that called in, and I'm so interested, and I would love to be able to introduce you guys to Varant. He's online. Hi, Varant.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for calling in, and thank you so much for all the love and all the support that you're giving me in regards to moving forward with this show. This has been really hard and really tough, but, you know, I know I'm a fighter, and to know that I have people like you that stand behind me and stand behind the movement that I am looking forward to helping millions in the world, I say thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Varant. You're a good friend.
Have you been able to watch us live?
Not yet.
Yay! I'm so nervous, but yeah, this is so awesome. But thank you so much, Varant. I can't wait till we get to meet in person.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, have a wonderful and awesome day.
Thank you.
Much sparkling love.
Thanks.
Wow, it's amazing. You know, I struggled all weekend about doing this. And at 7 o'clock last night, I had finally made the choice and decision to do it because I understood what faith was. And stepping out on faith is one of the hardest things, but yet so many people tell you, oh, you got to have faith. Oh, you got to have faith. You got to have faith as a mustard seed. But the reality is that faith is one of the hardest things, even when you have a relationship with God in the universe. There's all these butterflies that go in your stomach because when you truly step out on faith, that means you're not holding on to anything. And this morning, I knew that the situation being revealed to me the week of Father's Day put me in a position to where it was time to step out on faith. And that's what I did. I'm going to read another piece from the piece that I wrote called Hidden Silence. And I hope that with my words you guys can truly understand and feel my pain, but also try to find the positive in things that, words that are being laid. Because poets, we put a lot of work and we put a lot of feeling, we put a lot of energy into our words. And it makes us naked. So, here goes another piece to Hidden Silence. Where is the beauty of silence that becomes poison when it begins to ooze its ugly head from the truth being set free? The venom that we squeeze tight to that moves slowly on a silent killing spree. Allowing those toxic moments to morph into other ways of expression, creating the recipe for disaster mixed with depression, aggression, repression. Just to name a few, even though there are many more to call. Yet we are taught to embrace silence, the cancer that kills us all. Where is the beauty of silence that does not understand the movement of unspoken pain? Just gives others a reason to judge, never a space for one to explain that my silent screams are real. Now more powerful to be contained, and now that I expose my silent screams, I am to blame. I should feel shame. I am the match to this flame, the destruction after the hurricane that exposes the membrane of it all. I have nothing more to lose and everything to gain because there's a new direction of freedom from this chaotic internal pain. Where is the beauty of silence? I share that because so many times I've sat and meditated in silence. And I get a joy of peace, a joy of understanding. Positive energy contains me. That's the silence that I want to be able to live my life in. But so much of my dark pain, my dark past, allows my silence to be negative and ugly. So many things that I've not been able to understand, so many choices and decisions that I made, so many people that I loved that never loved me back, so much loyalty that I gave to those that were not loyal. So understanding silence and understanding that you make the choice of which silent path you choose. It's all up to you. So when I say silence never, that means that you're taking a stand that your past, your secrets will no longer hold you down, will no longer hold you back, will no longer keep you in a deep, dark, festered hole. And know that you can do it. It can happen. You just have to have a little bit of faith. Now, I have a co-host that unfortunately wasn't able to get here, but is in traffic and he's on the phone. His name is Aaron. And Aaron has such a specialized story because he too is a victim of child abuse. But what's so special is that this is a man. And men are told to hold their secrets tight. So many men would be ashamed or feel like their manhood would be compromised by telling their truth. So there's a second platform to Silence Never, which is called No More Silence. And No More Silence is for the men. It's for the young men to have a platform to tell their story and know that it does not deflect who they are or where they've been or where they're going in their life. So let's give Aaron an opportunity to get online and share his story. Aaron, you there?
Yes, Sparkle, can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm good besides dealing with this, LA traffic, so I do apologize.
Right, no worries. So I have pretty much introduced the concept of Silence Never, and what I did was I shared with the audience the platform that you have had the courage to be able to reveal, No More Silence. And it explained that this is a platform for men to have a space to share their story. And so I would love for you to share with the audience your position and what you'd like for them to know.
Okay, thank you. So basically, for the last 30 years of my life, and I'm just 35, just so you know, I have been living my life based upon what happened to me when I was basically 4 years old. I have a crazy memory. I can remember smells, colors, exact details to lots of things that happened to me. And I started out in Compton, everybody knows where Compton is. And as I'm sure everybody else knows, it's not necessarily a great place to grow up in. Both of my parents worked extremely hard, so they were always gone. My mom was working and going to school, and my father was working, and he was away on business trips and whatnot. We had some people that would take care of my brother and sister and I, but not really take care. So a lot of things happened where they kind of stuck with me all the way till now, even.
Right.
And this ups and downs and backwards and forwards stuff that I've been going through all my life, I never really understood why I was going through this, and not understanding something truly is the reason why most people are pretty upset with themselves when it's about something that happens to do with themselves.
Right.
I basically used to blame myself for the sexual abuse that happened to me when I was that young for letting it happen.
Right.
Now, what I kind of come to realize nowadays is it's kind of ridiculous to blame yourself when you were a little kid then. You know, throughout my life, this 30 years, I've been blaming myself. I never thought of it that way. I thought of it as if, you know, the way that I think now was the same then. You know, but it's not. I didn't know anything. I was just trying to do what I thought was what everybody else was doing, so I felt like I let this happen to me. And I also felt like the people that were supposed to protect me let this happen as well.
Right, exactly. That's something that I had actually spoke about a little bit. You know, one of the things that I did was I applaud you so much is I did explain to the audience that you were co-partner as far as creating a platform for men to have a space to where they could share their story. And so No More Silence is so crucial, especially due to the fact that after doing my research on the statistics, that so many young men have been victims of child abuse and sexual molestation. The numbers are just as high as the women. However, women are the ones that have a very high percentage in being willing to tell their story, and we do understand that that's because of the stigma that comes with men and sexual.
Let me explain that point as a man. Okay, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think I might be able to explain that where other men might be able to, identify a little bit more with me because I am a man.
Right. But I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But unfortunately, we're going to have to try to catch this another time. I really would love to hear more about what you have to say, especially on that level. But unfortunately, our time is up. So hopefully we'll be able to get you back in and we can really go in depth, because I think that what we were about to talk about is very crucial. But we don't have any time left.
All right, cool. No problem.
So, yeah. But it was great. Thanks, Aaron. Can't wait to talk to you again really soon.
No problem.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. So, unfortunately, my co-partner couldn't be here, and it was really starting to get deep. And so that's the beauty of this platform, is because there's no way we can get all this information in, because there's so much that needs to be exposed. There's so much that needs to be talked about. And we are going to create that atmosphere. We're going to create that community to where we can talk about these things and we can really break the silence. This is a movement. Let's understand this. No nonprofit organization. This is a movement, because the reality is that a lot of our children are still being abused every day. And we come from a generation where a lot of us from our generation and the generation before us were abused. And that's the reason why we have so many sick, twisted people, and why our choices and decisions have just killed everything that we've reached for. So understand, silence never, and No More Silence is going to be the voice that will kill, at least put a good dent in the world of child molestation. I thank you guys so much for spending a little time with me today. Thank you for letting me share my poetry. And remember, silence may be golden, but it also destroys. Much sparkling love.